Is it going yet? I think it's going. Yo, what's up, guys? So I'm doing the BTS Wings album short, I was gonna say short film, not gonna say it. I'm still in short film mode, like hardcore. I wouldn't rewatch them. Let's get ready. BTS Wings album first listen, live stream version. So I can talk to you guys. Usually it's around 300 y'all who join me in this awesome adventure of going through this thing. I've gone through, what is it, like 5 so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're on 7, Reflection, Rapmon. So we're about to just go into this. I had my own opinions of what the short film meant, but we'll be able to see a completely different side with the full-length song version. I've got the English lyrics video here made by the channel called BBTS9717. I'll probably try to put it down in the description so you guys can check it out if you want to. People are already saying that I'm not ready for this right now. Well, Megan Collins, I feel like I am ready, but I'm probably not. You're probably right. So, I mean, all of these have been just so, they just incite so much emotion, and I don't know why, but it's like a therapist right now. Like the album is my therapist, and every time I hear it, it's like asking me questions, and it just like draws out these emotions and draws out these stories out of me. And I'm not even like realizing it's happening until I realize the live stream's over. And when I go back and watch it again, I'm like, holy cow, did I talk about that? That's insane. So we're just gonna get into this. Big fan of Rap Monster. Dude's a freaking genius. If y'all didn't know, he has like an IQ of 3 billion. That's accurate. It's been proven empirically. 3 billion. That's his IQ. And we're just gonna get into this, okay? So let's do it up. Oh yeah, no, just start, because I accidentally clicked on the time bar instead of clicking on the little sideways triangle that means the play button. All right, let's try that one more time. Shades of Therapy. You guys are silly. I'm reading your comments. I'm trying to get into this, but I'm reading your comments.
I know every life's a movie. We got different stars and stories. We got different nights and mornings. Our scenarios ain't just boring. 나는 이 화가 너무 재밌어. 매일매일 잘 찍고 싶어. 난 날 쓰다듬어 주고 싶어. 날 쓰다듬어 주고.
His life is a movie, though. Sometimes I really hate myself. Stand with all the darkness I'm used to. The beer that makes me laugh. 2, 3. Dang, yo, this is dark. Rapmon's being real right now. But he ended that saying, it's okay, I have friends. Like, he remembers that he has those close connections to the other members. It's like he's relying on that through his dark inner self that's coming out in this song right now. I am my own happiness and anxiety. He wants to be free. I'm happy now, but also unhappy. TTEUK. What is this? I just typed it to you guys. What does that mean? I keep seeing it come up. it's an island. Okay. And then we all remember I Wish I Could Love Myself from the short film.
I wish I could love myself. I wish I could love myself. I wish I could love myself.
Yo. Ratman just done bore his soul to us in this song. You know, that happened. That happened. So the way that Sugar refers to Daegu, you know, hometown, is Ratman referring to this other place as his hometown. It's really interesting because there's so many I feel like there's two sides to this song that kept conflicting with each other, at least the way I was viewing it, because I'm always trying to figure things out. Like, I always want to, like, I don't know, wrap my mind around something and understand it. And there were two different directions that this song was going, and it was very deep, and it was very dark, and it was very real and emotionally driven from what I think is Ratman's reality. I think this is about his life. I think he's writing this rap, he's writing this song about himself. Now, it did fit the whole story, and it fit the album's message. But like I said earlier in the other reactions, I think that there's two messages at least to every song. I think there's two messages to every music video that I end up watching. What's crazy is when I'm trying to figure this out and I'm trying to understand it and I'm getting drawn in two different directions, I don't know which one's stronger. I don't know if it's him being happy because he's doing what he loves or him being miserable because he doesn't feel like he's truly happy. So it's interesting. There's so many different lyrics in here because it's a rap. You know, it's not just, you know, you have a chorus and you have something here and something there. Like, he just filled this to the brim with information. And it's really emotionally driven. It is. I didn't know any of this about Ratman. Like I said, I don't know much about the guy personally. I'm gonna go read the lyrics here a little bit and just kind of go through some of the parts that I wanted to know more about. Especially starting out, I know every life's a movie. We got different stars and stories. We got different nights and mornings. Our scenarios ain't just boring. I find this movie very amusing. Every day I want to shoot it well. I want to caress myself. So it's almost like he views his life as a movie. Like, all of us, we all have different movies going on, which makes sense. Life could just be one giant movie, but it's interesting, you know, each movie has a main character, but essentially it's being filmed for an audience. You know, it's not filmed for that character unless it's a documentary or something, but of course is also filmed for an audience. So if you're in an idol life, especially at BTS's level, I feel like it'd be impossible to get away from the spotlight. It's impossible to get out of movie mode. It's impossible to get out of filming mode. Like, for me, it's easy. I can just do this, and I can stop this live stream, and immediately I'm away from the spotlight. You know, stuff can happen on Twitter, stuff can blow up, and like, people can create drama. Like, recently there was a lot of Twitter drama that happened today. Sorry I smushed this. And it didn't involve me, but there have been times where it has. And when that happens, it almost like it hangs over you. You know, even if you're not on Twitter, when the Twitter battles are happening, it hangs over you. And it's almost like if you're in a relationship and you're not okay with your significant other, like you're in the middle of a fight and you're maybe not talking right now. It's just this uneasy feeling. It's the exact same way when you got like bad things going on social media or whatnot. But even with that, even as extreme as that can go with me, you know, I can still just delete my Twitter and my YouTube, and I could pretty much just drop off the face of YouTube tomorrow if I wanted to. No one really around here knows me as a reactor. They know me as that guy who lives down the hall, or that engineer who started working at this company 3 months ago, or, oh, that's my brother, or that's my son. You know, that's how people know me mostly. It isn't until I go to a place like KCON that people actually start recognizing me all over the place. That's really the only place that I've ever gone where that's happened. So I'm able to fall off the face of the earth. He's not able to do that. So he has a constant presence on him. And so you're going to want to act a certain way. You know, you're going to want to act in a way where you want people to see your best, but that happens all the time. So that's why he says life's a movie. It's insane to think about that. I don't know why, but that really struck me. But you know, and I'm reading the lyrics again, but you know, sometimes I really hate myself. To be honest, quite often, I really hate myself. When I really hate myself, I go to, and he put the name of that place you guys said is a place in Korea. And I'm seeing this as a common trait between people who are very, very successful. In fact, there has been research done, and I just read this the other day, with the people that have the highest IQs have the highest depression rates. The higher your IQ gets, the more anxiety you have, the more you worry about things, and the higher your depression rate is. And also, the higher your likelihood of suicide. Can you imagine that? Like, the lower your IQ goes, the less likely you're going to commit suicide. And I know there's exceptions to that. You guys have to look this up on your own. Don't take my word for it. But I think that's really, really, really interesting, because as soon as you get smarter or you get more wise, or you're born with an insanely high level of intelligence or computing power like Rap Monster has, he has a greater understanding than maybe like me when I was 4. You know, you take me when I was 4 and my understanding of the world, and you take him now. He just is operating at a different level. He's viewing things differently. He has a different big picture. And when he sees things that big, I think honestly, it just kind of gets to him. And like you guys were saying, that completely pressures him all the time. You know, the perfectionist, wanting to be the best. I think that wanting to be the best, it's a good goal to go towards, but in order to get to the level he's at, you need to have that obsession so much more than you or I. You know, I can be a perfectionist, and I try to say, okay, well, at least if I shoot for Mars, I'll end up on the moon. You know, at least I'll end up on the moon, like even if I don't make my goals. But then I might be unhappy, you know, because I'm never reaching those goals. Even though my goal is perfection, perfection's unattainable, I'm not reaching my goals. So I think that's what happens. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of a little bit sad to think about. With the people that are smiling, and I'm reading the lyrics again, with the people that are smiling and beer which makes me smile, coming to me softly, fear which holds my hand. It's okay because everyone is in 2s or 3s. I don't understand that. It's okay because everyone is in 2s or 3s. I honestly don't know what that means. Everyone's in 2s or 3s. Does that mean like typically people are in groups of 2 or in groups of 3? Saying, Josh, my camera's out of focus. Oh, I hope it's okay now. Is my camera okay? I can try to fix it. But yeah, I don't know what that means. Some of these lyrics I'll have no idea, and I'll just kind of go over them. Maybe you guys know. There's a song in the album called 2-2. That a person has a friend when he's alone. Everyone is in 2s or 3s. That makes sense. Everyone being in 2s or 3s, it means they're not alone. That makes sense. You know, I try to look for sometimes such a deep meaning, and the surface I completely miss. I'm going to read just some more of the lyrics a little bit. The world is just another name for despair. My height is just another diameter for the earth. That is awful. That is just the most pessimistic, over-emotional, most emo way to look at reality. Now, I understand that there's a lot of different things in this. This is the other path, the one that I wasn't sure if it was the stronger path in this song. Yeah, no, just go ahead and fly a biplane right outside my window. That's cool. So there's two paths that this song is taking. One saying, you know, at least I'm not alone. And the other one saying, the world is just another name for despair. I mean, if that's what you truly believed, that the world was just another name for despair, that ultimately the sum of all actions just end up being negative, that most people get hurt more than they're helped. Even at his level of success and fame, where people are saying he's done it, he's made it in life, I envy his level. He's famous, he can be wealthy, he can do all these things, and he's able to create all this great content for us all to enjoy, all these great works of art. And yet he still says things like the world is just another name for despair. Well, one thing that tells me immediately is, okay, fame, money, status, none of that brings happiness. None of that brings joy. Well, I should reword that. It might bring temporary happiness. It might bring happiness in the moment. I don't think happiness is joy. I think happiness is very different from joy. You can have happiness, but is it lasting? I think joy is lasting happiness, but it's a little more than that. I think happiness is circumstantial. It's based and it's dependent on the circumstance. Like, oh, I went to this concert. I'm just so happy right now. I just love that concert, blah, 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 blah. Well, then, a couple days after the concert, are you going to be happy from that concert? Maybe. But often, it's over. It's in the past. You have memories, pictures on Instagram, and that's about it. So what is joy? I think joy is that lasting happiness that's irrespective of circumstance, meaning regardless of if your car breaks down tomorrow, or if your waiter spills hot soup on you, or if you get fired at your job for something you didn't even do. All these things can happen in one day, yet you didn't lose your happiness. You didn't lose your joy, because you've already been independent of all those things. You've already been fulfilled. You've already decided that you're going to be happy anyway. And I feel like that's a tough point to get at. I don't know if I'm at that point. I think that if all those things happened to me tomorrow, I'd be pretty freaking miserable. I wouldn't go crazy. I wouldn't, fall into some sort of depression or commit suicide or anything like that. But it would completely just, that would ruin your month. That would definitely ruin your month. It all depends on what you're basing your identity in. What are you basing your identity in? What could you take out of your life that as soon as that's gone, life is meaningless and it's no point anymore? That's what you're basing your identity in. It's really interesting. Call Me Crazy says, I'm reading your comments. Call Me Crazy says, I remember my Bible teacher telling me about happiness versus joy my sophomore year of high school, and it stuck with me, really impactful. Yeah, I'm just like reading this and it's keep coming back to me, all these like different thoughts that I've had. Sorry that I'm monologuing. This is really deep and it's like keeps drawing these things out of me. I don't normally talk about this kind of stuff in my reactions. I guess these are a little bit different than reactions, so like first listens or whatever, but I was messed up my sophomore year of college, especially my freshman year of college. I was really messed up. Like I didn't have my identity based in anything healthy. I was raised Christian, but I kind of left that at the front door when I left and went to college. I didn't base my identity in that. I based my identity in my degree. I was going to get an engineering degree. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to do that. If I get a good degree, I'm going to get a good job. If I get a good job, I'll have financial stability. I'll be able to support a family and myself. And if I can do that, then I'll have enough money to have the freedoms that I want. When I want to go traveling, I can do that. When I want a nice car, I can get that. If I want to buy my fiance a beautiful diamond ring, that's easy for me to do. I can just go down to the store and get that for her. I thought that's what makes sense in life. That's the ideal status. That's like, if you're at that point, you're great. You're golden. You don't have to worry about anything. That's what I thought. And it came crashing down the second I realized engineering is freaking hard and I'm not that smart. That happened. Getting just F's on my calculus exams, failing literally half my classes. I remember laying face down on my floor and just not even making a sound, but tears coming out of my eyes. And I was just laying face down, literally all fours, just. And my roommate came in, John, different John, not the John you guys know, a different John. And he was like, yo, what happened? And I didn't even respond. I was just there. I went, And he was like, do you want me to leave you alone? I was like, And then he was like, all right. And he left. In that moment, my entire world was crashing down around me because the thing I based my identity in just became something that might not even be achievable. It just became something that I realized I might not even get there. And that destroyed my world. So I was there and my world was destroyed. So that sucks. So I learned the hard way not to base your identity in something as silly as your education or your path of success in life or financial stability or anything like that. Even basing it in other people, like, oh, I have such a great best friend. Well, people will disappoint you. It sucks. Almost all my best friends in life, throughout life, have disappointed me. So you don't want to base that in that either. I don't want to start preaching to you guys. That's not the point of this whole reaction. I do feel like that's something that needs to be closed. This whole loop needs to be closed. Eventually, I did find God, or God found me. I started getting serious about my faith. And since then, I've never had my world completely crash down around me, because that's the awesome thing. He never fails you. You might fail him. In fact, I do almost every day, but he's never failed me, which is awesome. But wow, this is such a deep, deep song. So deep. You know what I would love to do? I would love to have a conversation with Rapmon. I would love to sit down, just him and me, just us. No one around, there isn't cameras, it's not an interview. It's two people just chilling. It's two people just hanging out. And I'd love to be able to ask him the question, like, what's your worldview? What do you think about, life? What do you think about, like, creation versus evolution? Like, do you think we all came from nothing? Or do you think that we're all just an accident? Or do you think we were by design, by an intelligent designer? Like, I'd love to talk to him about that. I'm not going to try to convert him. He's smarter than me, okay, first of all, so that wouldn't happen. But I would love to be able to just have these conversations with him, because these lyrics are so deep. I feel like there has to be so many things he could tell me that I've never thought about. So many unique thoughts that I would have never had on my own. Just genuine inception. I don't know. I would love to talk to him. There are two people I'd love to talk to in K-pop. One is Rapmon, and the other is Daesung. Daesung's my bias in Big Bang. He's probably my biggest bias, my biggest male bias in K-pop. I'm reading your guys' comments. It's really interesting. I love your comments. You guys are awesome. There's a lot of different conversations going on, so I gotta figure out, okay, so which one's towards me or which one's to other people in the chat, but it's okay. It's all right. Hashtag Josh needs to meet Rap Monster. I would be so happy. I had to pull back. I was about to just throw out a 50 Shades reference there. I would be so happy to do that. You guys don't even know. I would love to do that. Some people might think, oh, I would do anything to do the Immortal Song, or what's it called? All those reality shows. Is it Fantastic Duo? Is it? Where you get to sing a song with your bias or whoever's singing that song. There's Fantastic Duo. There's Immortal Song. There's a bunch of other type of shows like that, and some people be like, I just love to be able to do a dance cover with my idol, or I'd be able to sing with him or meet them or whatever. I would just love to have a deep conversation with Rapmon. That's what I would love. Yeah, it's Fantastic Duo. All right, thank you for telling me that. What would you ask Daesung? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Daesung, I've done research on him. He has an amazing story. He has an insanely amazing story. I mean, it's not just the scandal that he was involved with. Do you guys know about that? I'm sure many of you do, with the accident that he was involved with and the person that died and the time he took off of K-pop. That was just all that time where he just had to collect himself as a human being after that crazy accident. And ultimately, he put his faith and his identity in Christ, so he came on top of it, and he was successful. And that was such an inspiration to me, because I've never gone through anything like he has, and I've never been through something that intense. But I would love to think that if I ever did, I would hope, I would pray that I'd be able to handle it the same way he did. So I'd love to be able to just talk to him about these topics. And I know one thing he said in interviews, especially during the interview during the time where he took off, time where he was completely not an idol. I mean, he was just taking time on his own. During that time he was interviewed, and they asked him what he would what are goals in his life, what are some dreams and aspirations of his, and he said he would love to be able to be a voice in K-pop. He would love to be able to reach out and talk to other members about his faith, only if they want to, whoever wants to talk about it, but he would love to be able to share his faith with others because of how much it's helped him. He would love to be able to help others through that. And that was like, when I read that, I started crying. I was just like, that is amazing. And I just got a newfound respect for him, and it blew me away, and that's why he's my number one male bias in K-pop, by far. That's so amazing, and it's selfless, and it's not revolving around him or his own personal goals, or like, I want to get to this level, or I want to be an all-kill on all the billboards. And no, he wants to help others the way that God has helped him. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So that's why it spoke to me. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. I know this is a completely different topic. I just got in live stream mode again. Yeah, there he goes. Natalia says he does Saturday live stream. See, I just went into live streaming mode. I'm sorry. Sarah says, LOL, you cry a lot? I actually don't cry a lot. In fact, most people I know have never seen me cry. Even some of my closest friends never seen me cry, ever. So I think, like, Akbar might have once or twice. That's like it. My friend Brian from Maryland, yeah, he saw me cry one time, but it wasn't like a big thing. Yeah, so I actually don't. But for some reason, when it comes to my faith and it comes to just the emotions that music draws out of me, I'll just get so sensitive. I don't know why. Like, I had two older brothers. I grew up being bullied by them and like pushed around, and I was always trying to grow up too fast, and I was always trying to be tough, and I don't know, I always tried to be older than I was. And one thing about being older and a white American family in the 90s was you never cry as a man. You just don't do that. You don't show your emotion. You never show anyone that you're sensitive. And so I'm still struggling with that today, where like even times where I want to, I'll refuse to do it, and I'll like bury it deep down, and I'll just like try to put a lock and key on that. And I don't think that's healthy. I think sometimes if you need to cry, you go cry, and that's good, and you can get that out. But that's something I learned way after I left and went to college. So anyway, I'm going all over the place. Like, I'm just going off of what you guys are saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with crying. There's nothing inherently wrong with crying. I think that there's something inherently wrong with not crying, especially when you want to. That being said, those are just the things that typically get me going. That romantic comedies right at the ending scene where they're kissing. I mean, that's my guilty pleasures, romantic comedies. Don't tell anyone that. I'm trusting you guys. My friends cannot know that. Anyway, I'm going to digress. I cannot finish this album if I keep doing this. Like, I can't. If I keep going on about all these topics. See, this is what these albums are doing to me. Like, Augusty did that to Akbar and I. Wings is doing this to me. And I don't know. I'm not even going to try to fight it. If it happens, it happens. If I monologue for this long, it happens. It's okay. But I'll move on to the next one. Holy cow, it's almost 8 o'clock. That is a thing and a half. I am sorry. I wanted to get through all of these I wanted to get through the rest of the album and tonight. And I wanted to do it all today. Where are we? We're at Reflection. So we have Mama, Awake, Lost, Cypher Part 4, Am I Wrong? Holy cow. Okay, so even if I just spent 10 minutes each, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 80 minutes. That's quite a bit of time. It's an hour and 20 minutes. That's, whew. I might not be able to do that tonight. Are you guys okay with me like continuing this tomorrow? I know I told you guys I wanted to finish the album tonight, and I truly meant it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that in time because I eventually have to eat. I haven't eaten since breakfast, and then after I eat, I got to go to bed, wake up, do the whole thing over again. But yeah. Someone's saying, can you at least do Awake? Can you at least do Mama? It's tough. It's a struggle. Oh, but much more people are being in support of me just doing it tomorrow. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I had this a little bit of like anxiety. I was thinking, no, they're just gonna really want the next one, and I'm probably just gonna do it for you guys because you're awesome and you deserve it. But you guys are actually telling me that I can go eat and sleep. So thank you. Like I'll take care of myself when I need to, but I have a bad habit of just getting into something and going overboard, like not listening to my own body and just like doing it. You know, I'll get tunnel vision on what I'm doing and I'll forget everything else. So thank you guys for being there to give me a little reality check. I appreciate that. I feel like I can be honest with you guys. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of these live stream first listens. I know they're turning into hilariously long live streams / philosophy talk / Josh Binder story time and all this stuff. But I love them. I love doing these. I love talking to you guys. You guys have asked the best questions. Like, you ask one question, and it's so deep, and then immediately I'll go off, and I don't even know where it went. But yeah, I'm still reading your comments, by the way. Sometimes I don't like read them out loud. I'll just like read them in my head, which makes me feel like I'm stalking you guys. But it's okay. I think we're both stalking each other, so. It's like, Josh, we're not stalking you. You set up a live stream. That's the opposite. Okay, I'll let you guys go, and I'm going to go. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I guess the first one we're going to watch is Mama. We're watching Mama tomorrow, which I'm personally very, very, very hyped for. So hold up. Let me bring up the stream. Boom. Wow, that's what I look like? Okay, that's cool. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm terrible at ending these live streams. I think you figured that out by now. You'd think I would have gotten better. Nope, I can't figure it out. But I'll just end it in an awkward way.